Okay, this is a run from the sophomore league, and it's Nancy and Ryser and Kaylee and Valie. And they're different sizes, but they were very close in time, so we thought it would just be fun to look at the differences. Um, so I started them out with their nose. They're at a slight different angle, so I'm hoping I got Valie's nose going about at the same spot as Riser's. Um, I'm going to first play it at real time. And they were really nice runs, weren't they? Um, it's really going to be fun watching these two dogs progress because they're only babies and just starting out. So it's a great start. But let's nitpick a little bit now. So first of all, naughty Riser for breaking his start line. Naughty Nancy for letting him. Okay, had to get that out. Nancy, you knew I was gonna. So in that case, you probably should have just restarted him. But that's okay. Um, the it is going to make a little bit of difference, I think you'll see in the start. So we're going to go to the first jump, and who makes it at the first jump is Valie. And so there's probably where you gained a little bit of time there, or lost a little bit of time, I guess is how, either way you could say it, I guess, depending on how you look at it. Um, he started out not as fast because he knew he was being a little bit naughty, and he's like, I wonder if she's gonna let me get by with it. Yep, she did. So now he takes off, but it took him a couple strides to do that. So that's why Valie made it over the first jump first. And you're handling it different. She let out and did a up front there, and you are working from the rear. So over. Now, the difference here is she's doing a turn, and her body is aiming forward a little bit. Let me get my fancy arrow out. So her body is kind of going that way. Okay? And so that's the direction the dog's going to go. And I don't know if I can't shrink you down anymore. But we're going to see, so far, he's not at the jump. So where your body is, it is going that direction more. And now she is turned. And I'm going to clear those off. I'm just trying to see if the direction of the body before the dog takes the jump makes a difference. It could have, in Valie's case, or possibly as the dog is a little bigger, would jump out a little further. So you can see that Valie's out a little bit further than Ryser. And your rear cross actually, well, It's not going to be that much difference, actually, now that I'm looking at it, because he wasn't quite at the same spot. So really, it is about the same. If you look at Ryser here, he's about at the same. I'm going to back it up a little bit over the, I'm going to back, or actually I'm going to connect Ryser up to him and see if I can get him right about at the same. They're both, their front feet are over, but Ryser's already on the down and Valie's still up in the air, which that's kind of interesting. Ryser lands first. He can get going. So that makes me think they really took off about the same time. Or about the same spot. That's interesting. So Ryser, he's jumping at the same spot as the bigger dog. You would think the bigger dog would be further away from the jump. But no, little Ryser is trying to be a big boy. And he's over, but he does land sooner. He lands closer. So he can actually get going a little bit faster. And he makes it to the weaves. Well, they're there about the same time. Because remember, I did speed Ryser up a smidge on that part. And I'm going to enlarge this one so we have pretty close to the same. And you can see the size different partly and the jumping style different. Valie's is still just going up, and Ryser's at a, he's going straight across. That's a beautiful arrow I made. So around. Now you're handling it similarly but different. So look at your bodies. I'm not saying one is better than the other. It's just different. She's leaning, really turning her body to get that turn. And it is way before the jump. Good job. The dog is still taking the jump. And the dog knows totally where it's going right there. Totally knows. Kinda yours does too, Nancy, if he's watching your hands. But look at your body. It's still going, and he actually takes a wider turn there. So watch her, Valie. You land, and he's got his head turned. Ryser, he lands way back here. And it's a little blurry because I have to enlarge it, but he's going more straight. He's aiming straight. And that's where your body is aiming. He's aiming the direction your body's aiming. And Valie's heading this way, heading toward the red. Because that's the way. Dogs run parallel. That's their go-to. You can get them to run opposite of you, of course. But in their default, I guess I could say, is to run parallel to you. So that's what they're trying to do. And he is, and she is. Or Valie, I guess that's a she. So the dog lands. Let's see which is over the red jump first. It is Ryser, though. Look at that. That's interesting. Now, they both are looking at their handlers as they come over to see where they're going. So, you know what that tells me? both of your handlers are late in telling them where they're going. The dog should not be looking where they're supposed to go, but at least you're even on that. And you handled it the same way. So instead of a faster way, if you were, I mean, this was 19 some seconds. That was fast anyway. But if you wanted to help the dog know where they're going, I'm not a big blind person, but I know when it would be a good time to do it if I was agile on my feet, and it would have been right in here. So Nancy and Kaylee, you both kind of wait here for your dog. You're waiting for your dog. If you had run in there and did a blind, then you would have been facing this way, right at the jump, and your dog would absolutely come around there and know where they're going. But it has to be perfectly timed, of course. So there's that, and both of these dogs are young. So it's a chance, but that's something to practice. And you both were across. Ryser's over the jump again. So far, if Ryser had not broken his stay, he would have been ahead. Let me shrink this down. Oh, it's not. It's just out of the picture. He would have been ahead because you can see Ryser's a little bit ahead, but Valie's catching up. Valie does have look at that nice big stride. Good stride. Okay. So now they're both pretty much even, very close to being even, going into the tunnel. Now, here's another difference. Kaylee takes off running, and the dog has to catch up with her. Because, yeah, the dog is going to be faster, right? So you better take off. Nancy, you're standing waiting on him to come out. I'm not sure why, because he's gonna come out. It's not like he's gonna stay in there. So now you're in a foot race with him, Nancy. But good training. He says, hey, Slowpoke, I'm going to go ahead without you. And that's a nice dog training. And so both of you did something really good here. And both of the dogs went a little bit ahead of the handlers. I would just say, I do like it that Kaylee took off running. Let me see. Let me set him up straight out of the tunnel. Well, they almost are. All right, so straight out of the tunnel. And basically, Valie still would have won by a nose. Well, yeah, probably. A nose, just barely. But it would have been maybe the same time if Ryser had done his stay. Isn't that interesting how just one little stinking stay makes a little bit of difference there? But these were amazing runs. Both of you guys did a great job. The dogs are doing a great job. And both of you ladies have done a really nice job training the dogs. Good luck in the future.